Hey everybody, happy holidays. Welcome to the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. How's everybody doing? It's good to see all your smiley faces. And I hope you are in a holiday mood and got some holiday spirit happening. If you don't, stick with us. We've got an incredible show in store with a music legend himself. He works with a music legend and he has for like over 44 years, but he's a music legend himself. Who are we talking about? Robby Robinson. He's an iconic Hammond organist, conductor, arranger, and he's the music director for music legend Frankie Valli and has been since like 1978, which is extraordinary. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about his working with Liza Minnelli and the Beach Boys, the Turtles, and on and on and on. He's going to play live for us as well. Plus, we have an incredible array of fantastic music videos, lots of photos, lots of conversation. You guys can comment live during the show. If you'd like to comment live during the show in live chat while we're live, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Very important. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV, which houses this entertainment lifestyle talk show series we call the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. That is a mouthful. Bringing back the lost art of conversation as a talk show series, kind of like what you're used to seeing on television, but right here on the internet. We're having a good time. Done about 550 plus episodes, which has been an extraordinary experience with guests coming in from all walks of life, celebrity friends, folks I've interviewed on television and radio. I work on television and radio professionally, and they come in from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, inspiration, and lots more. We always have a good time on the show. We're interactive. International audience, feel free to comment during the show. We would also love it when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. That helps us out big time. But also at the same time, make sure you click that notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes or notifications about our episodes, our guests, our topics, our themes, and all the entertainment. And while you're there, make sure you click like on this episode and all the episodes you enjoy as well. Don't forget to leave a comment on the YouTube channel. That really, really helps us big time. So make sure you drop a comment underneath this episode, this video on the YouTube channel. We would really love it. Check out all the other episodes. You can binge watch the Jim Master Show Live with so many incredible episodes that we've got in store for all of you. We're going to check in with some of our audience. They call themselves part of our JMS, Jim Master Show Lovity Squad. We love seeing them here. We welcome everybody watching all across the United States, which is where we house the show or where we come from. And folks watching in Canada and Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, and all points of the globe. So it's good to see you here. Get ready for some holiday spirits, some great music, terrific conversation. We always have a good time on the Jim Masters Show Live. And Robby Robinson is here and he's in the house. And we're very excited to have him here. He is an iconic individual when it comes to conducting, arranging, composing, producing, Hammond organ, keyboard extraordinaire, from Royal Albert Hall to Broadway, from The Tonight Show to American Idol, dozens of records, movie scores, TV shows, as well as decades of touring. It's been quite a ride for music man Robby Robinson. He has carved out an impressive resume working with timeless artists such as Tom Jones, Liza Minnelli, pop icons, the Beach Boys, the Turtles, R&B superstars, the Commodores, the Four Tops, as well as blues legend Albert King and jazz great Eddie Harris, and on and on. As a conductor, Robby has wielded the baton for many prominent orchestras too, including the London, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, and the National Symphony Orchestras. He's best known as music director, keyboardist, and Hammond organist, really, for the iconic Jersey Boy himself, Frankie Valli, since 1978, which is quite impressive. Yeah, we're really excited to have him here on the show. Join me in welcoming live and direct from Los Angeles, California. You guys ready for a good time and lots of music and so much more? The one and only Robby Robinson is here exclusively on the Jim Masters Show Live. Hey, Robby, welcome and happy holidays.
Same to you, Jim Masters, and thank you for having me on my show, on your show.
That's it.
That was quite an
today
intro.
It's our show. It's a family here. You're a Lovity now. You're a Jim Masters Show Lovity. And I know you've waited with all the things you've done and all the people you've worked with and all the awards and accolades. to come on the Jim Master Show live and be designated a Jim Master Show Lovity. I mean, it's the pinnacle of the career, isn't it?
I love it, brother.
That's it. So you're all festive. You got the red scarf. You got the tree. Some cool things happening. How have you been, and how you doing in these crazy times?
Well, they are crazy times, but 'tis the season. As soon as
Yes.
Thanksgiving, as soon as I ate my last bite of turkey, then we turn the corner towards Christmas, and so because I'm doing so much Christmas music now. And
Yes.
obviously my studio we're dialed in over here too, so I can kind of get the spirit.
You've got the spirit, exactly, which is really, really cool. So you've been, through all these crazy times, you've been staying busy, right? You've been staying busy.
This pandemic, and obviously for you, it blows me away how many shows that you have done. Wow. But this pandemic for me, I have been a road musician primarily for, 40 plus years. And because I was even on the road before I was with Frankie Valli and touring
Yes.
around the world. And so all of a sudden, February or whatever it was of 2020, everything came to a halt abruptly. And it was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is weird not being on the road.
Yes.
And so what I did is I started immersing myself in my studio here, which I've had for decades, but really getting into that. And then the internet and all this thing. So I have literally been busier than I am pre-pandemic times through the pandemic, but I've welcomed the opportunity to get really creative in different arenas.
You've been with Frankie Valli for so long, which is extraordinary. And again, you're known for so much, but that is one of the claims to fame that is extraordinary, and this wonderful relationship that you have with him. How did that happen? How did that opportunity come your way, Robby?
Well, first of all, you're right. To be with a guy this would be 44 years now at the beginning of the year. That does not happen in the music business. It very rarely happens.
Yes.
And back in 1978, I was the conductor, music director for a guy named Buddy Greco,
Oh, sure.
and we used to travel around the world playing music. And I had a
He
dear
was
friend of mine.
wonderful. I met him a couple of times in New York. We lost him just a couple years ago,
Yeah, a
right?
couple years
Yeah.
ago.
He
And
was
he was a super
wonderful.
talent,
Class act.
class act. And so I was, and I got a call from my friend Richie Gahate Garcia, who he and I were playing in these bars in Springfield, Illinois, back in the early 70s. And he said, and he was working with Frankie. He said, Frankie's looking for a guy. Are you interested? I said, yes, absolutely. And I connected with Frankie, and that was 1978. Grease was #1 on the charts, and everything was good.
That's incredible. Wow. What first got you started and interested in music, growing up? Tell us about your background. We always like to find out, what are some of the things that make people tick early on in
Sure.
their lives? Were there family members, others around that inspired you? Folks that just turned you on to the arts and to music? Were those early inklings of inspiration pop up for you, Robby?
I'm from a small town in southern Illinois, Litchfield, Illinois, my beloved hometown. It's a little farm town of 7,000 people between St. Louis and Springfield on Route 66, old Route 66, if I might add. My mom was a piano teacher, and she saw early in the game that I loved music, which I did. I started playing records and stuff when I was a wee tyke, and she started giving me piano lessons. And then when I was 7 years old, she sent me to a really prestigious piano teacher, and I studied classical piano for 7 years, pretty intensely. And but all along, I was kind of exploring other arenas of music. When I was 14 years old, I started playing in rock and roll bands, and I've never stopped.
Wow, that's it.
And there's a lot of I love Litchfield. It's a great hometown, and it's been really supportive of me and my music. And my brother is a bass player, and he was with Frankie Valli for 25 years, and he and I've made music together our whole lives too, and so he's a great professional bass player. Rex Robinson, I guess I should say his name.
Yeah, he would be very happy to hear that. Absolutely. Yes, that's fantastic. You've got a beautiful, I know you were telling me about that gorgeous instrument that's in front of you right now. Tell our viewers about what that is right there before
Well, you
your.
can't really see the front, but it's a Hammond organ. I love the Hammond organ. I'm a Hammond organ artist and endorsed by the Hammond Organ Company. And I've been playing Hammond organs since before you were born, Jim. And it's the most fun. I get a chance to wear a lot of hats, as you know. I get to conduct, I get to arrange, I get to play a lot of different keyboards, all that kind of stuff. There's nothing I love more, though, than playing the Hammond organ. And there's a sound and there's a connection to it musically that I get from no other instrument or no other music. And so, and this is this. I would play some of the iconic songs, but maybe we won't even go there. The Hammond organ songs, but we know that the copyright police would watch out for us.
Mm-hmm. So, what is it about the Hammond organ that speaks to you? What is it about the sound, the flavor, the vibe, all of it that really speaks to Robby?
Well, and my generation in particular, but it started out there's an organic connection to this and if you talk to any Hammond organ people, from Booker T. Jones to Felix Cavalieri to Joey DeFrancesco to Dr. Lonnie Smith to some of these great Hammond organ players around the world, they all have this same thing. There's something that just jumps out and grabs the listener. The Hammond organ connected to the Leslie, which is there's something
I love that.
grabs me. Again, there are so many iconic organ sounds that have been used by groups like the Rascals, like Vanilla Fudge, Mark Stein, and so many of the rock groups, but also the jazz groups. Jimmy Smith is the icon of the Hammond organ. As a matter of fact, in the Christmas mode, for my family, everybody has a Christmas tradition or something,
Sure.
kind of what we do around these holidays. And what, for me, and since our family was very young, it's playing Jimmy Smith Christmas 64 every Christmas. So the kids, when they would come down, they could not come down to see their presents under the tree until we put on Jimmy Smith Christmas. And the same with my grandkids, and he's got all kinds of Christmas songs on that, and like one of them is
Awesome. Awesome. Now, if that doesn't get you into the holiday spirit, I don't know what would. Do you ever come
Jimmy
in there
Smith.
and if you're having a bad day, instead of saying the words, do you ever go to the Hammond organ and just go, wow? And that,
Yeah.
So there
what? I rarely have a bad day because I do
surrounded
what I
by-
love to do every
what you
day.
love, yeah.
And music is such a great, powerful medium. I mean, I can't even, I've been doing music on an intimate basis now for decades and decades, and I could not define the power of music after all this research and study of. But from Mozart to Beethoven to Jimmy Smith to Count Basie to whoever, you know.
Yeah, right, exactly, which I think is quite amazing, when you think about this. Um, you got some exciting things that have been happening. Tell us about some of the recent projects you've been working on.
Well, it's all comes out of the pandemic because here I am in my studio, and
Yes.
so we started Robbie's Records. You know,
Yes.
I've never had, all my career I've been making music, but I've never really had an outlet for me as an artist or an outlet for my music that I've created. And so I figure, well, these days with the technology and the way that music is merchandised and the way that music is listened to now, I could just start my own record label, and I did that. And the first thing that we released was a version of the Peppermint Twist that I collaborated with a young genius talent named Sarah Nimitz. And if the world doesn't know her, this is a superstar that the world has yet to discover, because this girl her genius is extraordinary.
Yeah.
And so we did our own version of the Peppermint Twist, and that the original artist was Joey D and the Starlighters, and that became a worldwide craze. Even everybody from the president's wife, Jackie Kennedy at the time, John Wayne, the Beatles, everybody was doing the Peppermint Twist in that year, and it was a worldwide craze. And with the advent of TikTok, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we've done our own version of it, which is endorsed by the original artist, Joey D. And so we put it out there, and it's getting great response.
Isn't that incredible? What do you think makes it unique and different in terms of your twist on it? And there's the album there.
Very clever. There it is. Peppermint Twist, by the way, and we go by the moniker of Brother Robbie and Twist Girl there. And you see in that picture, by the way, that's the Peppermint Lounge that was a little club that was literally owned by the mob back in 1962 on 45th Street in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And overnight, a famous actress, Merle Oberon, and one of the gossip columnists of the day in New York went into the club to get out of the rain, and they started doing the twist there, and they wrote about it the next day, and then it just exploded into this monster success. So what does our twist on it go? It's fun, it's campy, it's catchy, it's engaging, it's modern, it's contemporary, yet it's a throwback. And it's fun. It's one of those songs that is just a fun song to listen to and a fun song to dance to if you've got some dance moves on you.
That's it.
And it's got an organ solo too.
And it's got the organ solo too.
Yeah.
That's really, of course. Are you able to play any of it, you think?
Well, it's got that kind of stuff on it.
Yeah.
Almost kind of skating rink, rock and roll kind of.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's really cool. And then there's something else too, it's holiday time, of course.
Yeah.
The Sounds of Christmas. Tell us about that.
Okay. And it's the Sound of Christmas. And Sarah and I wrote this song. I had this idea that everybody has a sound of Christmas. And when when Thanksgiving turns a corner, and then we hear the sound of Christmas, and what does that mean? It's the sound of chestnuts. It's the sound of Bing Crosby. It's the sound of the church bells. It's the sound of the little kids playing, the little kids laughing. There's so many. The sound of Alvin and the Chipmunks even. And so we wanted to write a song in the style of those classic Christmas songs. And that's what we did. And again, I wish we could play it, but people can go and hear it any way that they listen to their music. And I'm really proud of this. And it's a total different animal than the Peppermint Twist. that I did with, again, that young genius talent, Sarah Nimitz.
That's it. Yes, absolutely. And Greg Senko says all skate. He's right on.
By the way, Greg Pasinko, I would be remiss if I did not comment on Greg Pasinko. Greg
Absolutely.
Pasinko has been a friend of mine since we were teenagers, playing in bands together back in our teenage days in Springfield, Illinois. And he has been my friend all these years, and we've played in bands together and been associated musically in a variety of ways. Now, Greg's record company, Blue Jazz, is the company that is marketing the Robby's Records products for me. And Greg really knows his stuff. And he's not only a super talent, and his wife, Diane, is a super talent, but he's really got it together as far as the record. He's been my mentor and my teacher now.
Isn't that fantastic? That's really cool. I like that. And that's the way it works. And here you go.
Yeah. And that's Johann Sebastian Bach, another one of my big heroes, with his sunglasses on.
That's a cool. How'd you come up with the idea for that look, the whole idea, the concept?
Well, I've always been an aficionado of Johann Sebastian Bach. Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, and what? Well, I didn't play it right. And then and so I love Bach, and I love Bach. Had such an extraordinary output of music, and he was an organist. I'm an organist. He was a composer. I'm a composer. He was an arranger. I'm an arranger. And he was a church musician, and I'm a church musician in many respects as well. And
yes,
I've always been influenced by him, but I'm influenced by a lot of different people, but he's definitely one on the top. So I just figured, there's something hip and cool about the connection with Johann Sebastian Bach.
You mentioned being a church musician. We do have Warren Jesus Jam here. Maybe we can throw that in and give them some of this fabulous music here in video form, because you're going to play some things live too. Tell us about this, what we're about to see. It's very cool.
It is cool. And so for 30 years now, this year will be the 30th year, we have done a concert called Jam for Jesus. And it happens, it's an annual Christmas concert, and it's just grown into this major league musicians hang. And I have 20 of the best musicians in Los Angeles that all come out there, and we do this one concert. We put this on every year, and then we bring in another 5 to 10 of the best singers in the town. And by the way, and the interesting thing about this whole thing is nobody gets paid. These people all come out here and do it for free. And then they call me months in advance. Hey, when are we going to do our concert again? And it's turned into this great musicians family Christmas party. And this is one of the nights a couple years ago. And we had some guys from Tower of Power. And one of my songwriting partners is a guy named Doc Kupka. Doc Kupka is an iconic Barry sax player for Tower Power since the beginning of Tower Power. He's written most of their hit records. And one of the songs that he wrote was called Digging on James Brown, which is a big favorite of mine. And I love that song. So I took the basis of that song, rewrote the words to fit them to God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. And this is Warren Ham, who just happens to be, he was with Toto, he was with Kansas, he was with so many people, but now he's playing in Ringo Starr's All-Star Band, and he's singing the lead. And you'll see he has the paper just in front of him, because we just finished the words the night before, and he was reading it. And the band, they had one run through with the rehearsal, and this is a live concert you'll see, and it's pretty funky.
Wow. And that's cool. When was this recorded?
About 2 or 3 years ago.
Nice. All right.
Pre-pandemic, as you see, because there's an audience all.
Yes, we say BC. It used to be before
baby.
Christ. Now it's before COVID. All right. Get ready to start tapping those toes, gang, on the Jim Master Show Live. Robby Robinson is in the house. Well, his house.
And you're in yours.
I'm in ours. And he's on West Coast and we're on East Coast and we're bringing it all together worldwide on the Jim Master Show Live. Get ready to jam. Here we go. Enjoy.
Now, when they stand up, Sal, so they remember and Doc Cook. Sal Cracchiolo. And so I figured if you got 2/5 of the Tower of Power horn section in your horn section, we've got to do a Tower of Power song. And this is a song that you're going to have to stand up, as Tony would say. Everybody, come on, stand up. You're going to have to, because you can't sit on this next song. It's just too funky.
What? Security.
Ready? Let's get the music. Okay, here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for some Tower of Power song?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then they had
That's incredible. That is incredible. And I saw you as we were playing that, you were wiggling and jamming in your seat
Yeah.
there. Good thing that's a swivel chair.
You know what? I love Tower of Power is one of the best bands on the planet, and they've always been one of my favorite bands. If anybody gets a chance to see them live, especially because live, you're talking about one of the, I mean, they're super funky, and we had two of the members of the Tower Power's horn section in our horn section in that one. That's why we did that. But but Doc Kupka, who was the Barry sax player and the
Right.
songwriter for them for 50, they've been together 50, well, since 1968. So going on whatever.
53 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And and Doc and I are songwriting partners, and we've been through the pandemic. Doc and I have been writing songs, and we have a new album we're almost finished with, and will come out sometime next year whenever we get it finished. In between me doing Frankie Valli and him doing Tower Power stuff.
Tower of Power, they really are incredible. Super energy, great message, and they've been doing it for, a good long time. And it's just really fantastic. I encourage folks to check out more of their material too. Very familiar with it with some of the radio stations that I've worked with over the years too on the air, and their stuff is it's good stuff. You should add to your collection for sure. We got something else here too. I know we got a lot to get in here in a certain amount of time because you're meeting with the Queen of England for dinner in about an hour, right? I think.
I think it's
that,
some kind of a queen. I'm not sure.
Eddie Hedges, the First Noel. Tell us about this.
Well, it's one of the great Christmas carols, of course, the First Noel. And Eddie Hedges is a guy who I make music with a lot, and he plays with me at my church, at our church, where I'm the minister of music. And he's an extraordinary singer, songwriter, drummer, producer. He's a very talented guy. He's going to be part of the Jam for Jesus in a couple weeks. And so this is he and I. This is during the pandemic. We put this together because we were doing all these online services, and this is one of the songs that we did. And it's a different take on the classic Christmas carol.
Really cool. It's a good one. We were looking at all these earlier today, having fun when we were producing the show. Now we're going to share it with all of you, gang, on the Jim Master Show Live. Robby Robinson's in the house, poised to share some more music over the holidays. Here we go, gang. Enjoy. Incredible. That is really, really incredible. His voice is extraordinary too. When you hear it, a lot of people are saying they heard a little Aaron Neville in his sound. Do you hear that too?
I totally hear Aaron Neville, and also a lot of influence, at least as far as the arrangement goes, with Al Green.
Yes, that would be the other one that I'm thinking about too. Working with Frankie Valli is really extraordinary. And as we say, over 40 plus years, 4 decades. Tell us about some of those experiences, some of those moments that maybe stand out for you in working with Frankie and the 4 seasons and, this longevity and this wonderful friendship and relationship you have.
Well, Frankie this guy is a special guy. He really is special in terms, he started with a God-given talent, no question. And one of the great singers in the history of the music business. But he's coupled that extraordinary talent with a tenacity that I have never seen. With anybody else. He's the most tenacious human being I have ever known, and he is 87 years old as we speak, and still motivated, energized by music every day of his life, and still wants to go out there and do it. And so his success is no secret. He is so tenacious, so driven, so motivated, and he couples that, and also he knows how to put a team of people around him. He and Bob Gaudio, their partnership is historic. And if anybody's ever seen Jersey Boys, and if you haven't seen Jersey Boys, then where have you been?
Where have you been? Are you stuck in Wyoming? Get to Jersey.
Two of those guys, Bob Gaudio and Frankie Valli, realized that there was a chemistry between the two of them. Bob Gaudio, extraordinary genius
Oh,
songwriter
yeah.
and producer and arranger and keyboard player, and he was one of the background singers in the original Four Seasons. And then Frankie with there's Frankie and Bob and some guy from Illinois in the middle there, you know.
A very happy guy. That's quite a sandwich of music.
Yeah. Bob Gaudio he's the tall one there.
Yeah. And you're the one that wears many hats, literally.
That's right. Yes, no question about it. And so, but the two of them shook hands literally to create a partnership 60 plus years ago, and they are still partners to this day on whatever the other one does. Bob got off the road in the early 70s and decided he was going to concentrate on producing and writing. And he's written most of the Four Season hits, but he also, as a producer, he produced most of Neil Diamond's successes. He produced Frank Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
He's, I mean, this guy, and of course, he was a big part of coordinating all the music for Jersey Boys. And now he's working on a couple of other Broadway plays that I guess I probably shouldn't say anything about yet.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, no question about it. And so both of those guys are super talented. And Frankie is also, I've worked with a lot of stars, but I have never seen a star who is as invested in every note that happens around him. And he is, no, I want it like this. And he's that way. And he loves music. He lives for it. And he's been a joy to work with. He's been a joy to learn from. And I feel totally blessed to be able to associate with that iconic Jersey boy right there.
God, it really is incredible. You've also had an opportunity to work with Liza Minnelli as well. Tell us about that experience over the years.
We did a record back in the day. This is in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. And it's called, oh gosh, what the heck is the name of that album? It's, but it was quite a departure for her. The name will come to me, I think.
Yeah.
And, it's really kind of a funky rock kind of a record for Liza, and it's critically acclaimed, but I don't think the audience really bought her doing that. And we had an extraordinary band. We had a 4-piece band that basically played was the rhythm section on the band. It was myself, my brother, who I mentioned before, Rex Robinson. We had Denny Sywell, who at the time was playing drums for Paul McCartney's Wings. And then we had Caleb Quay, who was Elton John's guitar player. And so we did the record. And then we brought in horn sections and strings and stuff, of course, of LA's best. But that record, it's called Tropical Nights. And there are some soulful, funky sides to Liza that I don't think the public has heard very much. And so you can go online and hear all that stuff. And it's really super cool. Liza Minnelli, Tropical Nights. And she was just a gem to work with. Super sweet, super nice. And it was really a great experience.
It's not unusual, Mr. Tom Jones. Tell us about that wonderful collaboration.
Well, that guy, I mean, Tom Jones, another guy. What a singer this guy is.
Yeah.
And a soulful human being and a gentleman.
Yeah.
Classic gentleman. And another guy who, like Frankie and Liza in that respect too, I don't know if I don't get it as much from Liza, but Frankie Valli and Tom Jones both love it and live it every second. And they are both icons and have in their careers speak for themselves. And Tom Jones is a brilliant talent and a brilliant human being.
Absolutely, really, and still doing his thing as well,
Right.
I'm fascinated by the TV shows, the movie scores, of course, dozens of records, but coming from a television and radio broadcast world myself, tell us about the TV shows, the movie scores, and all of that world you've had an opportunity to dabble in as well, my friend.
Okay, TV shows, it's fun to do those. Doing the Johnny Carson show was really fun. I did that with Tom Jones, as a matter of fact, which was fun. And then American Idol, which was you're talking about two ends of the spectrum that are totally different and different arenas, but different time periods and different approaches to everything. Of course,
Right.
big grand finale on American Idol, which was kind of fun. I'll tell you, for Frankie Valli fans, if they can go on YouTube and see, we did a thing with we've done a few things that have been really interesting. One of the TV shows that we did was an ice skating special for NBC, where we were playing, and they had all these great skaters, world famous skaters, skating to Frankie's music in front of our live performance, and it was a whole an hour and a half TV special, and that was a lot of fun. Another TV special that we did was we did with the National Symphony Orchestra, and you talk about PBS, so you're familiar with their Capitol Fourth that they do.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. That's epic.
Yeah. And we did that one night, and Frankie was the featured performer for that. And I conducted the National Symphony Orchestra, which is a great orchestra.
Absolutely.
And the setting for that show, it's right in front of the Capitol building. You're in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And it's, behind you is the mall in Washington, D.C. In front of you as you're performing is the Capitol building. And it's just a great show. And they have all top technical people. And that was really, and then the National Symphony Orchestra, it was really great.
Incredible, right? Huh?
And then, the fun thing for me too, especially on that one, John Williams. You may have heard of John Williams, composer, conductor.
Certainly have. Yes.
the most famous composer, American living composer, I think, and conductor. Of course, John Williams, who did all the Star Wars, Jaws. He's one of the things I like about John Williams. With Beethoven, I like to say Beethoven, you can hear Beethoven, you can identify Beethoven's music in 4 notes. Right? John Williams, you can identify his music with 2 notes. Oh.
Shark.
Yeah. But John Williams, he was prior to us. So I like to say I got to share the podium with John Williams, which I did, and he was our opening act, which was, really special to me, and he was gracious, and I got a chance to hang with him a little bit, and that was fun.
Yeah, he's prolific too in terms of the amount of things that he's responsible for in terms of movie scores and television and so much more. Even the NBC nightly news theme as well.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all John Williams.
Oh, there, yeah.
Where were you guys there?
That was on the set of the Capitol Fourth TV show. That we did.
Yeah, that really is epic, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
And you ever see him? You ever go to Tanglewood up in Massachusetts in the Berkshires?
I've been to Tanglewood. I've never seen him there. I have seen him perform at the Hollywood Bowl, though.
Yes,
extraordinary.
Yeah. He really is. Yeah,
he's an American treasure, no doubt.
Absolutely. Yes. And there's a few more here. We have, for folks listening and just joining us, we have more music coming up. So stay right there. Tie a yellow ribbon around that old oak tree.
He's one of my dearest friends.
I'd love to have him on the show. So spread the word.
I will. And I'll tell you what, there is no more gracious human being in the music business than Tony Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you guys connect initially? How'd that happen?
Well, it goes back to the friend that I mentioned who got me the gig with Frankie Valli, Richie Gahate Garcia, who's become one of the world's greatest percussionists. He's the percussionist for a guy named Phil Collins. You may have heard of him.
Yes, that's right.
And before that, he's worked with Stevie Wonder. He's worked with Sting. He's worked with everybody. And by the way, he was in that video that you saw at the Jam for Jesus too. Yes. He's always at that. But he and Tony he worked with Tony for a number of years back in the day. And so Richie introduced me, and then I've known Tony for a long time. And Sarah Nimitz and I did a cover last year of Knock 3 Times that is really fun. We're going to have to get that released on Robbie's records sometime next year.
That'd be fantastic. Count Basie?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a pinch me moment.
It was for me too, because now I was conductor for Buddy Greco then, and we're talking about the mid-'70s, and we were touring around the country, around the world. We used to go over to London and play the Talk of the Town for a month at a time with Buddy Greco. So one time we had we spent a whole week working with Count Basie, and the Count Basie Orchestra was our orchestra. So I got a chance. So I got a chance to conduct the Count Basie Orchestra for a week. And Count was, again, so many of these guys who we think of as legends. And I tell you what, Count Basie, legend with a capital L. So many of these guys have big, warm hearts. And I think it has to do with their music. But this guy, and that was a pinch me moment for me as well.
I don't doubt it. When people hear your music and when they watch the Jim Masters show live, I've always heard that they say, I feel good. I knew that I would. James Brown.
Yeah, baby. Oh, one of the funkiest guys on the planet. And go back to Tower of Power. That song that we were basing that Christmas arrangement on was a song that Tower of Power does called Digging on James Brown. And Tower of Power were influenced greatly by that gentleman right there, one of the hardest working man in show business, as his moniker was, and one of the funkiest guys on the planet. We were doing a TV show then. I forget the name of the show. It was back in the day, obviously. And by the way, the guy in between, well, that's a younger me, but the guy in between James and me is a guy named Jerry Corbetta. And he was part of the Four Seasons at the time. And this guy, he's not with us anymore. He died much too young. Yeah. He was the voice, the songwriter, and the organist for a group called Sugarloaf. And they had a monster hit called Green Eyed Lady. Mm-hmm. And he was a joy to work with, and I miss him every day. And he was a guy who he would fly in on his own dime to do these Jam for Jesus concerts with me every year.
Wow, that's incredible.
And then that's Frankie, of course. And then just as you're looking at it, to the right of Frankie is my brother Rex.
Okay, yeah, I see him right there. He's pointing to us. Yeah.
Yes, and he's the bass player. And then let me give another shout out to Litchfield, Illinois, my hometown. The guy who's peeking through the corner, but right behind James Brown, is a guy named Chuck Wilson, who I've been playing in bands with since I'm a young teenager. He was in our band at the time. And the tall guy, a guy named Lynn Hammond, who is from the Litchfield area, and he was, so we had 4 guys from Litchfield in the Frankie Valli band at that time.
Wow. That's incredible. I think Maureen from Arizona had asked earlier, if you're from Illinois originally, how did you become a Dodgers fan?
Now that is a good question. I get asked that quite a bit, and I have a good answer. When I was in Little League.
Me too. I was right field. Yeah.
What team were you on?
Actually, the name of the team was the Yankees, which is interesting being a Mets fan, because my father, growing up in New York, he was born and raised in New York City, Brooklyn Dodger fan. And when the Dodgers left to go to LA, a good deal of those fans became Mets fans.
Absolutely, yes.
So
I love baseball. And by the way, a quick aside for the Mets and for the Brooklyn Dodgers, Gil Hodges just got elected to the Hall of Fame.
That's fantastic, huh?
So to answer your question, I was on the Little League Dodgers and so I just got this, and I was on the Little League Dodgers for 6 years, and by my association with the Little League Dodgers, it connected me to the Dodgers, and one of the other kids on the team, his dad was our manager. His name is Bob Plummer. And this guy, and Litchfield is a relatively poor community. I mean, it's a little farm town, like I said. And this guy, Bob Plummer, who was on the team with me, he and I both became rabid Dodger fans. And from that, the heartland there, which is closer to St. Louis than Chicago even. So most of the fans there are Cardinal fans. But this guy had his love affair, and he went on to become very successful in the lumber business. And 3 years ago, Robert Plummer, my boyhood friend, who we talk baseball all the time, he became one of the owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers. How crazy is that?
Wow. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
degree, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Games this past well, back in October, I guess it was. I went to the game with Bob Plummer, sat in the owner's box with another owner named Magic Johnson, and
Mhm.
I think you may have of Magic and Bob Plummer and me, and I bet if you can show that picture, maybe not.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll take a look, see if we got that. So how did that all happen, that meeting like that?
What the meeting with
All of you together. Yeah.
well, because Bob Plummer called. No, Bob Plummer and I are still friends, Dodger fan friends. And we talk. There we are. Now, I happen to be the short guy. I don't know if you can tell that I'm a little shorter than those guys.
I don't see any difference.
Yeah, I don't either. But that's in the owner's box there at Dodger Stadium watching the playoff game against the Braves, which broke all of our hearts. But Bob Plummer is the guy in the blue jacket, and he's from Litchfield, Illinois, as am I. And he and I both were on the same Little League team. And so Bob came out and invited me to go to the game with him. My wife and I, and my wife Carla and I, and his wife Donna, and we went there. And of course, we're sitting there in the owner's box with Magic Johnson as well.
That's incredible, huh? Gee, boy. Just like Fran Tarkington said, and John Davidson, that's incredible. Back in the 1980s, I think it was, with that series. We've got some more here to sprinkle in, but we also have, I believe, some more music here that we want to share with our audience, and then I think you're gonna tickle sort of the ivories there to a degree.
Okay.
Let's see. We do have Olivia Mozart.
Okay. Well, I love classical music and I love symphony music. And so Mozart was one of the what a genius. This guy died when he was, I think, 36 years old, and he left the world with all of this. And speaking about copyrights, can you imagine how much his catalog would be worth if he
Yes.
And so I took his music score and I played all the parts. And this young lady named Olivia Lyon Barker, who is also part of our church praise team, and we did this Mozart, and she's an opera singer, as you can hear on this thing. When I went through those notes, something that jumped out at me big time was really studying what Mozart's choices of harmonies and intervals and melodies were. And I saw how the genius of this extraordinary composer was. He made choices that I never would have made, and these different things. And he just turns left just at the right time. And it's like, I feel like Salieri compared to Mozart,
Yeah. Can't go wrong with a little Mozart. Here we go, gang. Enjoy, and we'll be back with more with Robby Robinson and Jim Masters. And those are our real names, too. We didn't make them up because we're on the air.
Amen, brother.
That's it.
Alleluia.
Very nice. That really is. How do you feel when you hear all of this? It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of fun to revisit it. I remember when I was doing that. Of course, there were none of those notes were mine. Those were all from Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And but I read the score, and I played all the parts on my keyboards, on my magic keyboards over here, and uh, Mozart's music. I mean, there's something. One of the things I've observed with different singers, different composers and songwriters, is there's a magic that happens that you cannot qualify, you cannot quantify, you cannot define, and it tends to happen. There's magic is the best thing I can do. I can think of to describe it. Mozart has it. Beethoven has it, especially when it comes to melodies. Mozart's melodies are just extraordinary. And Tchaikovsky has it. Bach had it. And so does Paul McCartney has it. So does Bob Gaudio have it. And so does Billy Joel has this. There's a magic that just somehow connects their choice of notes, uh, there's a choice of notes that these guys make that somehow grabs listeners. And we're talking about, this is music that was written hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and it still connects with people to this day. So my quest in life is to find out what is that magic. What are those combination of notes that these guys just have innately,
Absolutely. Yeah. Who are some of the others that have inspired you over the years too, Robby?
Well, okay, John Williams, we talked about him.
Yeah.
We've talked about Jimmy Smith, who's the jazz great, and he has been a big inspiration on my life.
Mhm.
And when you're talking I mentioned a couple of the organ players before. As a Hammond organ player, Felix Cavalieri, who was he was the organ player and songwriter and lead singer for the group called the Rascals, who had great hits like Groovin' and and so many other songs.
Yeah, yeah.
And another guy named Mark Stein, who had a band called Vanilla Fudge, they had a short-lived thing, but he was a big inspiration for me. I basically, I love all styles of music. Duke Ellington put it this way. He said, there's two kinds of music. There's good, and then there's the other kind. And indeed, that's what is so true. I love Hank Williams music.
Yeah.
I love I'm inspired by Tower of Power, like I mentioned earlier, and James Brown and all the funky and Al Green and all the soulful stuff. Motown guys. I love the Four Tops. I had a chance to work with those guys. And
Yeah.
and I love doo-wop. I love Broadway music. I love it all, and I'm influenced by so many people from each one of those different genres. Thank you, Greg. Good loving.
Yeah, you got that right. Absolutely. Yeah. Gifted genius, Marshall Watson, and all the comments that we've been showing coming in from our Jim Masters show. Love the audience worldwide. We thank everybody for the comments. And if you're not commenting during live chat, feel free to leave a comment on our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up like on this episode. We have here all queued up. It is holiday time. Go Tell It on the Mountain. Tell us about this one, Robby.
Okay, so this is from that Jam for Jesus that I do every year. This is from about 3 or 4 years ago, and this again in the horn section we have these world-class guys, and you can see the guys here. The guy in the red shirt and black jacket is named Nick Lane, and he's plays with the band Chicago.
Oh yeah, sure.
Trombone, and then the guy in the middle is Bobby Burns, and he plays trumpet for Earth, Wind, and Fire. And the taller guy with the bari sax is Doc Kupka, who is the bari sax player and primary songwriter for Tower of Power. And so it's rare that you're going to get those three iconic horn bands, Chicago, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Tower of Power, members of those guys on the same stage at the same time to play the same song. And so I knew that we had them in the horn section, so I had to come up with a nice feature for them. So I wrote this arrangement along with Nick Lane, who's an extraordinary arranger himself. And so the two of us collaborated on the arrangement. And this is Go Tell It on the Mountain in the style of the band Chicago, in the style of Tower Power, and in the style of Earth, Wind, and Fire, along with great vocalist Alex Nestor, Leslie Smith, and Tony Galla.
Very cool. Let's hear it right now.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. There came a holy light. Tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is
That is incredible. That is masterful, my friend. Masterful. Wow.
That's just a little taste of that Jam for Jesus concert. That's our family little, our musicians hang, you know. A buddy of mine who's one of the horn players, he called it the other day because I was asking people, how do you define this Jam for Jesus concert we do? He says it's the musicians hang of the year. So we have and it's coming up. We're going to stream it live this year on the 21st of December.
Oh, that's fantastic. How? Where can they find it?
Can if they can just check out go to my website or my Facebook, any of those things, Robby Robinson Music.com and all that kind of stuff. It will be on Facebook and YouTube is how
Cool.
And this is the 30th year. We've been doing this for 30 years now.
Congratulations. That is
crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Really, really, congratulations. We'll look for that as well. RobbyRobinsonMusic.com. Look at this shot. Love it. And
my beloved Hammond organ, you know.
Yes.
And that's actually that shot. We took that at that's when I had a chance a few times to conduct the Nashville Symphony, and that's at the Skirmerhorn Performing Arts Center there in Nashville, which is by the way, Nashville Symphony Orchestra. They're not some country bumpkins. I'll tell you what, they are great. They have, I think, 18 Grammys.
Don't they? Yes. Yes, they do. And all well earned. Absolutely. Here's another shot here.
That's back in the day. Rock and roll with Frankie and me and my Dodger hat. That's my brother Rex and the sunglasses. The drummer at the time, his name was Zorro, and he's one of He's he's also been Lenny Kravitz's drummer, and he's great. And then there's Frankie in the green ball hat, and Fino Roverato. He is still my go-to guitar player, and he'll be playing at the Jam for Jesus with us. That Fino Roverato, brilliant guitar player. And then Frankie Valli is the eternal Jersey boy.
Yeah.
The eternal what is it, with the Energizer Bunny, and he
The
really
Energizer
is. It's
Bunny,
extraordinary.
Yes. Yeah. Through thick and thin, he's out there doing his thing. Absolutely. Rehearsing with the BBC Orchestra, huh? That's an honor.
Yeah.
Wow.
We did a thing at the called the Proms in well, they have a series called the Proms in the Park in London and all over
Yes.
Britain. And
Oh,
and it's a series of 40 concerts, and it all culminates on the grand finale of the Proms, and we were the featured performer for that and it was performed in Hyde Park in front of, get this, 400,000 people, and then
Gee.
broadcast on the BBC all through London, and that was with the brilliant BBC orchestra, and that was such a kick. By the way, one of the things, and these guys did it as well as anybody, and I love to do with the orchestras, I love to challenge the orchestra because when we do "Oh What a Night," we do. I wonder if I can play just. If I give that much away here,
As soon as you hear those chords, you know what it is. Yeah.
And so when we do that song at the end of this, in the middle of this, towards the end of the song, everybody's singing. And so I tell the orchestra, everybody's going to be up singing, clapping, dancing. You would not believe how great the last orchestra did. Everybody stood up, they're waving their fiddles in the air and their bows in the air, and I have yet to find an orchestra who does not do that. And the BBC orchestra, they were at the end of the concert, and you can go on YouTube and see this concert, by the way. It's an extraordinary concert. And they were all up dancing around, swinging their fiddles in the air and stuff. And that's something you don't normally see with a symphony orchestra.
That is so true, right? They're really getting into it, which is awesome. And just the sound of an orchestra and all the instruments playing off each other and weaving the sound together. And it really is magical. So to be a part of something like that, I know for you is it's quite a blessing, isn't it? When you get a chance to do that kind of work.
There is nothing. One of the great musical experiences I get to experience is when you're standing on the conductor's podium and you've got 100-piece symphony orchestra around you playing the music that you have written and arranged, and hearing that in that spot, it's what a joy that is,
It really, really is. This is a cool shot too.
That's that's playing at Royal Albert Hall with the London Symphony Orchestra. And that's another magical place to perform. There are ghosts in that, and I don't mean that literally, but there are ghosts in that hall that are just extraordinary. I mean, and there's a vibe, because every great composer and rock group, and from Frank Zappa to Shostakovich, has performed in that venue since the 1860s. It's just amazing. And we've played there a number of times, and with the London Symphony, we did a couple nights there, and that was a great moment. And one of the things that every time we've played there, the people at Royal Albert Hall has been so gracious.
Oh yeah.
And they let me go up and play the pipe organ at Royal Albert Hall, which is at one time was the largest pipe organ in Europe. And there's an iconic record that Frank Zappa did playing Louie Louie on the Royal Albert Hall pipe organ, but yeah, that was a great joy doing that.
Absolutely. Look at this shot with you and Frankie Valli and Paul McCartney. Another
Sir
trifecta
Paul.
of incredible talent here.
Well, I think I like to say with the three of those guys, you got a lot of hit records.
Yeah. You got Robby Robinson, Paul McCartney, and Frankie Valli.
Now you could take me out of there and you'd have the same number of hit records.
What was this event?
That was at a Paul McCartney concert, and he invited Frankie, and Frankie was gracious enough to invite me to come along. And so that was you know, we were hanging out and before the concert with Sir Paul, if I can
Mm-hmm.
name drop, but and we were in this VIP area before the concert that Paul has, and Diana Ross was there, a couple of the guys from Kiss were there, and a
Yeah.
couple other pretty major celebrities were all there. And so then we were all hanging around, and then Paul walks in, and he immediately goes to Frankie and starts singing Sherry, and he's enamored by Frankie, and he just loved it. And so then finally, of course, he has to make the rounds and see all these other people, but he's singing Frankie songs to all these other people. So it was an amazing night, and
That's
Paul
incredible.
couldn't be more gracious.
Yeah, that really
But
is.
there's a genius there, a genius songwriter too, you know, no question about it.
Absolutely. Nobody's ever called me yet or you yet a hockey puck, but this guy's been called a hockey puck many, many
I
times.
know who you're gonna say.
John Rickles. Tell us
Oh,
about
man.
that. Yeah.
When I was with Buddy Greco, we used to play in Vegas a month at a time. Back in those days, playing Vegas was really a kick because you would go to Vegas and you would play a month at a time in the same showroom. And we used to go play, and we would open the show for Don Rickles for a month at a time. And you do 8 shows. Well, no, Broadway's 8 shows a week. In Vegas, they would do 7 shows a week. And and we used to open for him all the time, and I don't know if his humor could function these days in this in the politically correct climate that we live in, but he was one of the funniest human beings. And also off stage, he had none of that. He was just a great guy.
Yeah.
But I would go out and see his show. I rarely, after we would do our set, I would go night after night because he was funny night after night after night, because he could just improvise. And hockey puck.
We were talking with some guests about, we had a couple of comedians on recently, if he would be able to do his act now like the way he did it, because there's so many changes, and a lot of the comedians said no, I don't think he could do it now in the way that he did it in his style. But he was on fire. He was just like Phyllis Diller, like Rodney Dangerfield, bang, bang, bang. You can't even catch your breath from the first one, and you got another one coming, and you're just like, that's fantastic.
He was creative enough. I'm sure he could adapt to the climate if he would want to.
Come up with something exactly right.
Yeah.
Total genius all the way. Leon Russell.
Yeah, there's another genius. He was you asked me earlier about inspirations, and he is definitely a great inspiration. People might not know that he was part of the wrecking crew in the Hollywood studios before he became the artist, Leon Russell. And he actually played on Frank Sinatra records, Beach Boy records and stuff. Brilliant talent.
That is absolutely fantastic. Renee Rarini Katz is saying, this is such a great show, Jim and Robbie. She's watching in New York City. Thank you very much. Joan Sandoz saying, wow, what a perfect Robbie show. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with Jim Masters. Otherwise, I would not have had this intro into your talent. Wonderful show. Thank you, Jim and Robbie. Absolutely. And Marty Thompson, who's considered the Aussie crooner from Australia, and he's worked in Vegas and cruise ships and all of it. Thank you. He did our super chat here. That helps support our show and live chat when the show is on live. He goes, so honored to hear your story. I had the amazing honor of touring with the BBC band back in '93. Magical experience. One of the best fascinating guests. He's loving hearing your stories as well. That's Marty Thompson, a big fan of our show. And again, brilliant vocalist himself.
I love Australia. I have had a chance to tour down there many, many times. And I had a songwriting partner named Nat Kittner, who was from who actually was from America, but he lived in Australia for years and years and years. Yeah. And he was a guy, and he had I miss him so much. We have literally hundreds of songs that are sitting on the shelves around here. One of these days, I'm going to have to resurrect because there's great stuff. But he's the guy who discovered and produced the first songs of the Bee Gees, which happened to be a group from Australia, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, iconic as well. Absolutely. Yeah, that's really amazing. A couple more quick ones here too. So I know we're starting to run short on time. I'm going to get a few cool ones in here, and then maybe you want to tickle the ivories there a little bit. Sarah.
That's the collaborator that I had. The pandemic really gave us the opportunity to write songs together and to collaborate on songs. And she is a genius on so many levels. She not only she's a great singer, she's a great writer, she a great video editor. She does all the videos that we do. And I hope that people can go out there and see him. And she is truly a superstar that the world has yet to really discover. I mean, she's got a great following, don't get me wrong, but
yes,
she not nearly the magnitude that her star will be at some stage of the game. Sarah Nimitz.
Robbie, it's been way too long. Can't wait to see you in Frankie in Arizona at the end of January.
Yeah, we have to get back on tour. Yeah, Frankie's been sick for the last couple months, and so we had to cancel some shows in December. So he's itching to get back out on the road. Our first show is going to be January the 7th and 8th. We're going to be in Biloxi, Mississippi, and then on January 9th in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Opryland concert venue, whatever it is.
Paul Schaefer. Raphael says, hi, Robbie and Jim. My mom, Diane, of course, Diane Dillon, who was a guest on our show. Just looking at the last time we saw you, Robbie, and played with you.
Yeah, Diane Dillon. I mean,
she was great. She was a guest on the show, too. We'll have to have her back.
She's a great, great talent. And one of these days, I want to collaborate on something with Diane and Greg Pasenko, and maybe it could go out on Blue Jazz, or maybe it can be on Robbie's records. Who knows?
That's right. There's Paul Schaefer. Many know, of course, from David Letterman's show, but an iconic, musician, performer himself, and so much more.
Yeah, he and I have actually, we're very similar. We're both Hammond organ guys, and both arrangers, music director guys. And he's a great, great guy, and a big Frankie fan too. Now, do you know who that is, by the way? I'm sure most of your fans don't.
Mobley? Is that? Yes.
Mom's Mabley.
Mabley, yes. Mom's Mabley. Wow.
That's back in the day.
Gee, I was going to say. Holy cow. From Mom's Mabley to Joe Pesci.
Okay, now here's another little connection too. Peppermint Twist. We were talking about that with Joey D.
Yes.
The musicians that Joey D had in his band, who all played the Peppermint Twist. The original recording, no, but Joe Pesci was one of the musicians in Joey D and the Starlighters.
Wow.
Played guitar.
Yeah, right.
And you know who else played guitar with Joey D and the Starlighters?
Who?
Jimi Hendrix. So Joe Pesci and Jimi Hendrix were both in the band with Joey D, as was Three of the Rascals, as were some of the Ronettes. So many great musicians have played that song, The Peppermint Twist.
The Ronettes as well, Ronnie Spector. And
Ronnie Spector was a background singer for Joey.
That's right. It's a small world, huh? There's another great shot of you and Frankie Valli as well. And
my Brooklyn Dodgers shirt too.
We love that shot. Yes, the Brooklyn Dodgers, and that's a great shot.
That's Doc Kupka, the Tower of Power guy, and he and I have a great connection, and we're writing a lot of great songs. And again, new record going to come out sometime early or mid 2022.
Marty Thompson, thanks again. We really appreciate Marty for supporting what we're doing here at the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. He did another super chat here. Thanks, Marty. You're the best. Everybody is invited to do that during our chat. We appreciate it. Robbie, what's the best Vegas story you have for us?
Oh man, I loved Vegas back in the days when we were playing with Rickles, and even in the early days when with Frankie, we would go and do. And with Frankie, we do 2 weeks at a time. You're doing 2 shows a night back in those days. So you do 28 shows in 2 weeks, I mean, and that's really working it out. And then at the end of the Musicians Union in those days in Vegas had a nightclub of their own. And all the musicians after the shows would go and hang out at this nightclub, and guys would sit in and jam. I loved Vegas in those days. Those days are so long gone, but
I know.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
I love this shot too. That's a really cool one.
That was this year touring. I don't remember the venue, but I feel so blessed to get a chance to travel around the world and do what I love to do, making music, and I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think there's one other here. I don't know if we showed that one. Yeah.
Okay, now there's some of my Hammond brothers. Now the guy on my right, the guy in the turban, his name is Dr. Lonnie Smith, who passed away just a couple of months ago, a few months ago now.
Yeah.
He was one of my dearest friends, and especially when he lived in Florida, but he is an icon of the Hammond organ, jazz Hammond organ. He had the #1 jazz record this past year, this year, 2021, produced by Don Was on Blue Note Records, and he is a legend in Hammond organ jazz music, and I miss him so much.
Oh yeah.
And he and I, especially when he got the last few months, we would talk almost every day on the phone. Just he's been such an inspiration to me, Dr. Lonnie Smith. And the other guy is Corey Henry, who is another brilliant Hammond organ player.
We're pretty much coming up, if not a little bit past that time. But did you want to sprinkle anything our way with that beautiful instrument in front of you?
Well,
there?
tis the season. Let's see. Well, how about this one? I like to say this is the first Christmas carol.
I mean, you can stay on with us as long as you want. They're loving it, but I know you have to bop off quick.
I do have to go. But this song, if you think about in this Christmas season, and as the Bible story of the birth of Jesus goes, in that field when Jesus was born, the announcement came to the shepherds, and then all these angels came into the sky singing glory, hallelujah, and this. Then it go.
That is epic. That is absolutely epic. Really, really nice, my friend. Really, really beautiful.
Really been a joy, truly, to get a chance to chat with you and to come on your show. And you know what you're doing, kid.
I appreciate that. I guess I picked the right thing to study in school and then follow through all these years later, huh? I really enjoy the art of communication. I do it in my professional work on television, radio, but when we started this some 550 episodes ago, sort of bringing back that lost art of conversation, freestyle, warm, the old school way of doing these entertainment lifestyle variety talk shows with a modern twist and a modern vibe. And having you on, we've sort of crisscrossed and blended all those different generations and influences with modern, with old school tonight, with a holiday theme, which I thought was really, really epic. We're going to have to keep that porch light on for you, Robby Robinson, and welcome you back. It was really fantastic having you here. And before you pop off, there's somebody here that just wanted to say hello, Miss George. Yeah, everybody waits for this. It's almost like an Academy Award. Mr. George Burns is in the house.
Amen,
he's been following
Brother
along.
George.
And he loved every second of the conversation, the music, and memory lane, and everything else we did tonight.
I hope I can be in the music business as long as he was performing, you know?
That's absolutely.
And I'll tell you the truth, I feel like I'm just getting started.
Well, in many ways you are, because, you know, you've touched upon so many different genres, and you've worked for so long, and you're not stuck in one particular time. You're always incorporating and creating and doing some really beautiful work. Music is a great healer. Music is inspire. It's the universal language. Just show you a couple of quick comments here before you slide out. Jim, thank you for bringing Robby and his amazingness to Loveday Hall. Robby, may your star keep shining, and may God continue to bless you. That's Maureen in Arizona.
Thank you,
Merlin in Canada and Ontario says, Merry Christmas. Jane watching live in Sweden. All kinds of emojis and icons.
Cool.
Kathleen in New York City, thank you both for such a great show. Our pleasure. Icons galore and emojis from Merlin. Rock Another Christmas from Marty Thompson, who's in Nashville.
I love Nashville.
RC crooner. Yeah. And Sherry Larson, sounds so beautiful on your Hammond. By the way, love your snowman. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. How do you like that guy over here? Yeah.
Angel, who we had heard on High. Of course, that great song as well. And just all these great comments coming in. Everybody been really talking up a storm here during our live show, and we really, really appreciate it. This is awesome. Thank you, Robby from Jane in Sweden.
Thank you so much, brother.
So RobbyRobinsonMusic.com. Check it all out. Keep abreast of upcoming events and so much more. And have a blessed and joyful holiday season. Let's stay in touch. You're welcome back anytime. Spread the word. Some of those people, Tony Orlando, others, love to welcome them to what you're experiencing here. And thanks for watching our show and being a fan of the Jim Masters Show Live. You told me, I started explaining behind the scenes, when we do our conversation before we go live, we chat with the guests, we do audio checks, and you said, Jim, I'm a fan. I watch it. I already know what you do.
Exactly.
And I think that's cool. And I really appreciate that.
Well, you've got a great show, and as you should after 500 episodes. I especially liked watching the Beaver Cleaver one. Man, that was so cool.
Jerry Mathers, huh? Yeah. Jerry Mathers. I know. He was awesome. Regular guy, authentic, and a great conversation as well. Well, I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
Bravo, brother. No question about it. I'd love to come back sometime. God bless you on everything you do, especially this Christmas season.
You as well, Robby. Keep making that beautiful music for all of us to enjoy. You take care, and we'll chat again soon, okay? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho from the Lovedies.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. Bye-bye.
Incredible night of music and memories and entertainment and conversation and live chat and everything we throw at you, including the kitchen sink on this show. We don't just talk. We don't just do an interview. We throw as much at you as we can. And you can see over 500 episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, a very special show. A lot goes on behind the scenes here to pull all of this off. Many of you probably know that. We talk about that all the time. But boy, we have so much fun together, don't we? And this is really here to inspire, educate, inform, and entertain all of you and me and us. We always have a great time. If this was your first time watching, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live experience. This is our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series where we're bringing back the lost art of conversation. Check in with some of our lovedies as well. Thank you, Robby from Jane in Sweden. Christine Clifton says, Robby, thank you for brightening our night with your entertaining stories and fantastic music. It was a treat for you to play live for us too. This was a wonderful episode. Thank you very much. We put a lot of hard work into all of our shows and this one as well. Don't forget, you can go to his website, robbyrobinson.com to learn more. Greg, thank you very much. We got to get Greg on the show too. Greg is an epic talent. Thank you, Jim, for having Robby on. The pleasure all mine. And Sherry, we're kicking off our holiday season. Well, Thanksgiving really kicks it off, but some more of these holiday themed shows here. We still have to decorate our set. We're a little behind this year. Last year, we had the set already decorated, just been so busy with so much going on. Great evening. Thank you, Jim. You are a wonder. Sherry Larson. And that's a great shot of you there too, there in Kansas. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that very much. Kathleen Walker in New York City, you're the best. Thank you for supporting what we're doing here at the Jim Masters Show Live. Thank you, Jim. Great show. She just did the super chat. I thank you very much for that. Again, that's available during our live shows. And if you want to support the show, you can also do it after the show airs. There's a little icon on the YouTube channel underneath the episodes that says thanks. You click on that and you can do something similar. We really appreciate that. That all goes right into all of the production, the equipment, the lighting, all of it. And we really appreciate that. Marty Thompson, good to see you once again. I hope you're doing well. Robby, I bet you haven't chipped the tip of the iceberg on your stories. A must-return guest, please. Your wish is my command. Marty, hope you guys are doing well this holiday season. Fortnite, yes, 378. Thank you, Jim and Robby. Thank you for being with us. Raphael. Really cool to have you here, and everybody, all these great comments coming in from all around the world live. Now, if you're watching this later, I know we say live, and a lot of people do watch the show later on when it's not live. We want to welcome you too. There's a lot of people that participate live. We realize not everybody can watch us when the show is live, but it's there for you right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We archive all the episodes. So if you're watching this later on, thank you very much for doing that. Feel free to give us a thumbs up, like on this episode, and leave a comment. If you weren't able to comment live during the show, leave a comment on the actual episode, the video itself. That helps us big time. YouTube sees it, and then they blast it out even further to the world. So a lot of people ask, how do we help your show? Well, the super chats like Kathleen and Marty did, all of that does. But spreading the word, go tell it on the mountain. As we said earlier, that you love the Jim Masters Show Live. That is fantastic. How did I know it was you? I have a journalistic background. I did my research. I know it was you. And really, really cool. If you missed any of this, this was really amazing. We had a lot of music, a lot of laughs, a lot of good conversation. Just so you know, it's all freestyle too. We don't prepare questions. A lot of times you do shows and prepare all these questions, and it's just asking questions and then answering the questions. And, that's cool. It's another great shot of, there he is with his Dodgers uniform. He has such beautiful equipment too, his instruments, incredible. Absolutely. He's a great guy. And we had so much fun. He was all excited. He's been, pumping this for a long time. He was all excited to come on our show because he watches our series. A lot of the guests watch our show. And that means the world to me, because these guests come from all walks of life and all different backgrounds and levels of success and so much more. Many I know personally before they come on, and others I meet when they come on. And then most of them, if not all, have always said, when do I get to come back on the show? Which I think is really extraordinary. That's a blessing. I guess we're doing something right here. Christine Clifton in North Carolina says, thanks for providing us with what a night show tonight. Robby is multi-talented, true entertainment. Enjoyed the conversation and, of course, the music. See you all soon. Good night. Hey, for those watching live, we have 2 shows tomorrow. Yes, wonderful award-winning singer, songwriter, and actress Dawn DeRoe. She was with us 1 year ago. She's back live tomorrow here on the Jim Masters Show Live for those who are watching live. That's Thursday. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. You remember she was on last year. We had an awesome time with her. She's got all new music. It's a whole new show. She's going to sing live tomorrow right here. And we hope you join us. And then at 8 p.m., another return guest that you guys loved, Josie Falbo, iconic singer and entertainer. also a voiceover artist of many of your favorite commercials over the years and jingles. Remember when we had her on? She is a huge fan of the Jim Master Show Live. You know, we converse with these guests during the year, even when they're not on the show. We're always in contact with all of these guests. And Josie is a big fan of what we're doing here on the Jim Master Show Live. She wanted to come back on. She's coming back on tomorrow night, and it's going to be a Christmas or holiday themed show. She's going to perform live and catch us up on her new album and so much more. Josie Falvo is here. Yes, she was with us about 1 year ago, and she wanted to be back here on our series, and she's here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So 2 shows tomorrow. Yeah. I want to let you know we've got some amazing people. Clint Holmes, you know, the brilliant singer Clint Holmes, he's coming on. Karen Grassley, you know her, right? The iconic actress who played the mom on Little House on the Prairie. She's coming here next week. Clint Holmes is coming here next week. Brian Dunkelman is here next Monday. He was one of the original hosts of American Idol with Ryan Seacrest. He's a wonderful comedian. He's coming on Monday. And it's amazing the folks that are coming on. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Good night. Also grateful for my lovely hugs. Lovely family and hugs to you as well, Kathleen in New York City. And good stuff. We love all of this. Merlin says, thumbs up 4 times to Jim. Cool stuff. We love that. Right back at you. Marty Thompson says, Jim, Babette, and I are so enjoying our date night. Thanks for your wonderful channel. Thank you for your support as a guest twice and as a lovely viewer. Means a lot. Means a lot. Fortnite goes, oh, oh, what a night. You were starting to sing, oh, what a night, right, Fortnite? All right. Yes, double. When we have 2 shows, it's called Double Lovity. So tomorrow is a Double Lovity day, 2 shows. So lots of lovity. If you miss any of it, it's all archived for you. Want to see this again right here on our YouTube channel. It is all archived. Celtic Woman, Megan and Maren from Celtic Woman were with us just the other day, and it was an epic episode. And if you didn't see it, it's on our YouTube channel. Barry Livingston from My 3 Sons, Ernie Douglas, he was here. Check that out as well. That's a very popular episode. He was great. Of course, Robbie mentioned loving the episode with Jerry Mathers, who played the Beaver Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver, that iconic sitcom series on CBS. Guess what? He was here, and you can see that episode as well. So good stuff, and we really appreciate it. Working hard behind the scenes to not just throw shows together and just do videos, but to put together a really cool, unique, interactive experience for all of you. Not just post the videos, but have an interactive experience and respond to what you're enjoying. And you guys are responding to what we're presenting, which we really appreciate. And spice it up. We do something different all the time. We don't have the same theme, the same topics, the same guest categories or what have you. We're going to be doing some pop-up shows over the holidays as well for all of you. So get ready for some of those. And Jane, watching late in Sweden, says, good night, everyone. And Jim, thank you very, very much. You guys are the best. We're going to sign off for now. We thank, once again, Frankie Valli is music director for over 44 years. Yes, he has been the music director for Frankie Valli in the 4 seasons. The one and only Robby Robinson joining us here on the show. And he was talking about his incredible career, all the people he's worked with, his passions, his music, his creativity. And he's worked with them all. We chatted about Frankie Valli. We talked about a little bit about the Beach Boys, but he's also worked with the Turtles. He's worked with iconic jazz artists and so much more. Liza Minnelli. We did talk about working with Liza and so much more. We could have talked even longer, but he did have to scoot out. He had a big appointment coming up, so we figured we'd do this amount of time, but we'll have him back. And he wanted to play live, and we love when the guests do that. So we invite, all the guests to play live or do whatever they do live, even if they're not performers. Sometimes they do other things live, inspirational things or what have you. So happy holidays to all the JMS Lovities watching right now. And if you're not a Lovity, well, you are right now when you watch our series. Jim Masters Show Live. Gang, if you haven't subscribed, you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed to our channel that delivers all of this energy and passion for all of you, man, would we love it. There it is, the subscribe button. You see it there. Click it and click that notification bell. I know some of you have said, I don't get notified when you have all these shows and these episodes, one after the other. If you click the notification bell icon on the YouTube channel, next to where it says subscribe, you'll be notified. You'll get a notification about all of our fantastic episodes. If you loved this episode, click like. You see a little thumbs up there? That's the equivalent of like, and leave a comment for us on our channel as well. We thank all of you for all of the love and all the support, all the great comments. You guys are very busy in our Facebook group, The Jim Masters Show Levity Hall. Lots of wonderful posts. You share so much about your lives and so much more. We have a Facebook group for this show and The Jim Masters Show Levity Hall. Everybody's welcome. Be happy. Hey, I love this. Don't you love when Be Happy pops in? I mean, it's perfect. This was a fantastic show, Jim. As always, be happy. I mean, in the anonymous way that Be Happy is, it's so cool that Be Happy pops up on our show. This was a fantastic show, Jim. Always, as always, be happy. We love when Be Happy's there. What a great, I just love it. We should leave that on the screen the whole time. Just be happy, right? A lot of crazy things are going on in our world right now. It's a lot of sadness. And so we try to kick things into gear. We started this May 2020 and we're still going at it a year and a half later at the time of today. You know, you'll be watching this 10 years from now and you're like, what's he talking about a year and a half? He's done 50,000 shows by then. Have a peaceful night, my dear friends. Tight, lovely hugs to each and every one of you. Right back at you there, Maureen. And see you tomorrow. We love when we hear that. Sherry Larson, good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Sherry, thanks for all you're doing. You've been sharing the episode links on your social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's right, gang. You know, when we post the YouTube episode links promoting the shows, you can share them on your social media to let your family, friends, and colleagues know about our series. Merlin says night, night in Canada. You as well. And everybody else that's watching, we thank you very much for being with us. And we also thank our friends at LMG, Lamkin Music Group, for their time and attention. They're big supporters of our show. They love our series. We love them. We appreciate the team, Ralph, and everybody there. Thank you so very, very much for your levity as well. Gang, don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the levity. Don't forget to find your Zen place. There we are at the ocean, one of our fabulous Zen places. My career in television, radio, stage, and film over the years, another Zen place for me. You're watching our fabulous series, The Jim Masters Show Live, on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Help us grow. Share the levity. Tell everybody you know about this series, which is becoming iconic. It's really something special. You get to participate as well. Thanks to Robby Robinson, Frankie Valli's music director, with so much more. Extraordinary Hammond Organist, as well as arranger, conductor, producer extraordinaire, our special guest on this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. It was really cool, gang. We love all of you. Spread the word about our series. That really does help. Much more coming your way. As long as you're there, we'll be here to entertain, inform, educate, and have a good time with all of you right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and on the Jim Masters Show Live. We're going to duck out. It's about almost 10 o'clock at night here, Eastern time, at the time of the show. We're going to have a little snack. I think we've earned it. Again, you guys, I can't say enough about all of the wonderful support, the love, the levity, all the kindnesses that you post on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the private messages. If you've sent an email or a message recently, we get about 110 a day with this show. And then in my professional work in television and radio, I get like 200 a day. We're filtering through. If you've sent something, thank you very much. And those of you who've been sending Christmas cards, we have a bunch of Christmas cards and little trinkets and gifts that have come in. Thank you so very much for doing that. That means the world to me and to us here. You guys are the best. Like I say, we've got an amazing audience, viewers who we call loveties, troupities. Those are the ones who are like constantly here, which we love. Thank you so very much for all the love and support. Thank you very much, YouTube gaming team. You're welcome, Jim. I love that. The YouTube gaming team is here checking in. I think that's awesome. Thank you very much. Good to have you here, part of the Jim Master Show Lovity family. Smiles from Kathleen Walker in New York City. Cool stuff. You guys are the best. We're going to duck out. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, noon, or night. If you're not watching this live, stay right here. Another episode, another great episode of the Jim Master Show Live coming right up. They're all archived. Otherwise, for those watching live, we'll see you on the next episode live as well here on the Jim Master Show Live. Take care. Be good to one another. We love you all. And thanks for being with us. Jim Masters, thank you for your time this time. Till next time. We don't say goodbye. We just say see you later. So with that, we say see you later. Cheers. Thanks again. Bye-bye.